You know, my cousin Nimona from the Paldea region said she's coming to kick my shins in, and I'm a man who usually likes his shins in their proper placing. So I decided to go on a self-defense learning, fighting technique gaining, Nuzlocke locking adventure through the Unova region to learn from the best. The best being fighting type Pokemon themselves. So prepare for some bear wrestling gameplay in this fighting type only Nuzlocke. Let's get into it. I'll flash the rules up on the screen, but it's a pretty basic set. I can only use fighting type Pokemon, set mode is enabled, no items in battle, permadeath is on, and level caps are applied. But anyway, I'll boot up the game, named myself Goku, my rival Vegeta, and set out into the Unova region in search for my greatest challenge. The first major choice in any Pokemon game is the star selection, and mine was pretty simple to be fair. I could only use this little fella that I named Van Dam because his evolutions, Pignite and Ember, are fighting type Pokemon. But this is where we run into our first little problem. Tepig himself isn't a fighting type, he is pure fire, and I ain't talking about this guy in a cipher. Luckily, Flossessy Ranch, which is a few blocks away from my house, holds the first fighting type Pokemon which is available to me in this run, Riolu. So I do Rival 2 and then catch this neutral nature steadfast Riolu and name him Bruce Lee after the legend himself. Then I proceed to box Tepig and play the game with only Riolu until the level cap allows me to evolve him into Pignite. Speaking of encounters, let's talk about the 9 fighting type Pokemon that are actually available to me in this game. Ember, Lucario, Scrafty, Heracross, Gerda, Mienshao, Throh, Sock, and Toxicroak. Get rid of Toxicroak because he's only available after post-game, which leaves me with these 8 fellas. These 5 are available to me quite early on. Mienshao is available in mid-game with Surf, but Sock and Throh are only available in Victory Road, so I will only be able to use them for the Elite Four. The reason I'm playing Black 2 instead of White 2 as well is because Heracross is a Black 2 version exclusive Pokemon, so it just makes sense to have him available. Anyway, back to the video. The first real challenge of the game is the normal type gym leader Sharon, who you would think is a good matchup for this run. But the problem is, yeah, I may be able to do a lot of damage to him with my super effective fighting type moves, which Riolu does not learn at this level, and he can hit me with his quite strong neutral damage normal type moves. Not to mention that Workup exists as well on all his Pokemon. Fortunately for me, Riolu can evolve into Lucario at this level with enough friendship grinding. Riolu doesn't learn any good moves by level up that Lucario doesn't also get, so realistically there is no reason not to evolve him as soon as possible. And now that Lucario is evolved, he gets a pretty massive boost to all his stats, including defense, and a steel typing which turns him into an absolute tank against these normal type bozos. Then I proceed to slap Sharon's Pokemon with Tackle when he hands over the badge and the TM4 Workup, which is quite a good option to have in the back. Or in the front, for that matter, or just everywhere on your team. I continue my adventure. Lucario learns Force Palm at 15, and I also teach this Max Friendship Lucario the move Return, which is quite strong at this point. I sleep through the Zoom call and wake up energized and ready to go. My next destination is Verbank City, the home of the Poison type gym. But as soon as I enter the city, I'm greeted with a scene of Roxy having some daddy issues like all emo girls do. I myself am a man of pure willpower and commitment to my training, so I proceed to ignore all distractions and head straight to the gym with my newly evolved Pignite. The level cap for this gym is level 17, which is the exact level that Pignite evolves. Absolute lad. Also found some sick drip and gave it to Lucario for even stronger returns. Then I stumbled into this crazy rave and started moshing just for fun until I realized this is actually the gym. So then I proceeded to work up twice into pressing return into every one of Roxy's Pokemon until she gave me the badge and a useless TM. Lucario, being a steel type, basically walls the first 2 gyms completely, which is making this challenge quite easy so far. But that's only because the demons from my nightmares haven't shown themselves yet. Ignoring distractions does not work as I'm forced to become a movie star, but after sitting through a painful amount of filler, I am finally ready to take the ship to Castelia City. Lay me down in Brooklyn if I lose my life.
Push me down the Hudson and turn on the radio. Long Island's owner smiling cause my soul is flying. I did everything for New York.
First thing I do in New York is chill in the sewers like the rat that I am, but then I stumbled upon the entrance to Relic Passage, which lets me find the next team member, a neutral nature timber I call Chuck Norris. This little fella has guts, which is a turbo broken ability usually, but surprisingly doesn't end up being that good in this run. I'll talk about that more later on when I actually try to use it. Next up is Route 4 where we can fight this little rat called Scraggy and add him to our team. I named him Tyson because that just feels right. Tyson has an attack lowering nature, which is actually a pretty big problem considering how important this guy is for so many fights in this game's mid and late portion. Okay, now that we have a bit of a team shaping up, a bit of a squad, I train everyone to level cap and proceed into Berg's gym. Just to work up twice on Pignite and press flame wheel through the whole thing. Smooth sailing so far. Too smooth if you ask me. Gives me a bad feeling, Next up is Nimbasa City, the home of the electric type gym, and apparently also the home of my brain's lack of function, because I run up to the train conductor duo and Rosa, initiate the fight, and I'll be real with you, I don't remember this fight at all. I have no idea if it's optional or not, I have no idea what Pokemon they have, I know nothing. I didn't even know there was a fight that I thought they were just gonna talk to me, I'ma be real. And now that I'm in this predicament, So they only have 2 Pokemon, and those 2 Pokemon are Boldor and Gerda into my Lucario and Servine. Turn 1 plays out pretty nicely as we both focus Boldor and kill him through the sturdy. Lucario takes an insane amount of damage from the wake up slap and I'm forced to switch him to keep him alive. I switch into Timber to tank a hit hoping Servine will do some damage to the Gerda. But this fucking bitch growths for some reason. I guess the AI wants to set up, but like set up on the first turn, or like I do not get this. Okay, but it's fine, whatever. After taking the hit, Timber is too weak to do literally anything else, and so my plan is to keep switching and hoping Servine takes out Gerda, because none of my Pokemon can really outspeed and kill, nor can they tank more than 1 hit. Everyone apart from Pignite, that is, who I switch into next, but then Servine misses a Leaf Tornado and negative progress is made once again. I go for a Flame Wheel, and surely the Servine won't miss Leaf Tornado 2 times in a row, will she? So at this point, to put it lightly, I'm a bit fucked. I could switch to Scraggy to tank a hit hoping Servine KOs, but that didn't seem too likely. But my fast Pignite, who is in fact currently in Blaze, can do a lot of damage here. And if Servine hits her damage, or Pignite crits, we can come out of this unscathed. And then this fucking bitch uses Leech Seed, a leechable seedling move. What the fuck was Rosa smoking for her brain function to seize this drastically? Hello? Knock knock knock, anyone there? Knockety knockety? To say the least, I was a bit pissed. But then I switch into Lucario, who can outspeed and finish the gut. The fucking Servine had Mega Drain the entire time! Oh Lord Jesus, give me the strength not to commit a vehicular murder in this children's game. Please give me the strength. Ah, fuck. In the end, I may have got absolutely turbo fucked by Rosa and her Servine, but it's still really my fault. My lack of game knowledge led to this death and I take full accountability. I also take full accountability on hating this bitch ass Servine. I see you again? This won't be no Paul Walker shit, my boy. I will literally kill you. Also, side note, the reason I didn't want to switch into Scraggy and risk him there is because he is too valuable for the rest of the game, and if I lose him, the run is basically over. As a form of grieving, I caught Pidove so I can fly around. I won't be using in my team for combat, he's just the getaway driver. My plan for Elisa, she's so bad, oh my lord. Was simple. I burn a poison Gerda on this Magni, we'll see him a few times this run, and he just bulk ups into a sweep. And this is what actually happened in the fight. First thing first, I challenge Elisa. She's such a baddie, I cannot think, oh my, I'm sorry. And she volt switches my bulk up and does more damage than I expected. So I'm kind of panicking. and say fuck it we ball and wake up slap the Fluffy, who also wall switches and almost kills my boy. The orange berry is the only reason he is here to tell the tale. But I press wake up slap like a dumbass instead of clicking the normal type move that kills both anyway, which means Emolga doesn't die and I have to switch out to keep Norris in the game. I send in Lucario and with 2 nice crits he evaporates the wall switch to Streaker. Fluffy is the same fate. Bro hits another crit as well for no reason, bro, he's just flexing. Then tanks a wall switch from the flying rat and returns the favor, earning us the 4th badge from Elisa. She's so bad I ain't even mad, she almost killed Lil bro, she could ruin my whole life and I'd say sorry for wasting her time. Me and the baddie I backbone using fighting types, holding hands cause we cute like that. Next up on the menu is Lost Lawn Forest, where we can get a cute little new guy to join the team. On the way there I found this rat who made me confuse myself 3 times in a row and almost killed me because of that. I'm not gonna become the Joker. I'm not gonna become the Joker. Anyway, time to catch a Heracross. He does have aerial ace and brick braid, so he might just wipe my entire team trying to catch him. So I was scared of brick break and aerial ace, but I kinda forgot he has counter. Fuck. Well, there goes my best Pokemon, but at least we catch the Heracross. A soul for a soul, or whatever, man. Well, I named this little guy Jackie Chan. I was gonna do a little joke, like, oh, because he's a bit goofy like that, but I don't even want to anymore. Lask has a decent nature and ability, and Hera is never a bad Pokemon to have on the lineup. It's just solid. But still, fuck this guy. So, with my newfound depression, I stumble into Driftvale City, and the Mad Chew instantly cures my soul. Woo! Let it play out like that. Woo! I spam A through a bunch of Team Plasma BS and now I'm ready to take on Clay, also known as Dream of Minecraft fame. I do this puzzle completely blind because I have no idea how to put the lights on, or maybe this was some bug, beats me, I do not remember. Claying time. Heracross takes down Krokorok with a brick through the Intimidate, which is honestly kind of impressive. Lower Sandslash a little and then switch to Girder so he can settle 3 Ball Cups on his weakest Pokemon. Only did 3 because I was still scared of getting crit and dying and the whole plan just failing, and then the spooky scary Excadrill couldn't break from my 400 defense and died to Wake Up Slap. It's Pokemon World Tournament time. Don't get me wrong, this is a really cool thing in the game and it's really good in the post game, but like I really do not want to be doing this right now. I just want to play the game. Roll the clips. Beat Vegeta, goofier. Beat Sharon, goofier. Then beat Colress, goofiest of the R's. Then Plasma happens when you heat up gas a bit too much, which means there are goons for the beating. This goes on until I materialize in Mistralton City, hometown of Skylar of Flying Gym fame, and the first fight to put up a significant challenge. I spent hours doing my little mathematics in my little showdown calculator thinking of ways to beat this, and this is my final prep. I traded in 10 red shards to get a Thunder Punch on Scrafty. Then I went back to the sewers to beat up Rattatas and Zubats for Speedavies, because with max Speedavies, our Scrafty, who evolves exactly at level cap, will be able to outspeed the Skarmory. And I have been killing Darumacas, Scraggies and Sandals in Route 4 whenever I needed levels, so my little fella can get max attack EVs to balance out his attack reducing nature, which is not very good. It's actually like a bit of a pain in my bottom. She also has a Shell Bell for some much needed healing in the fight. The big problem now is Swanna. No one on my team outspeeds her and she's a bit of a menace. I emulated the fight in my head with the calculator a bunch of times, even trying to open with Girder, and the only way I thought of to beat this fight is, well, the most consistent way to beat this fight is like so. Play the clip. Step 1. Scrafty tanks acrobatics from Swoobat. He has to dodge the crit or it's doomed. And then he kills the bat with Crunch and gets a Moxie boost. Next up is the Swanna question, and my Swanna answer to that question is quite simple. I need acrobatics to not crit or high roll, so I have enough HP to live an air slash that doesn't high roll, while also dodging the crit and the flinch. By grinding Scrafty to be almost 40 by the time I start the fight, allows him to level up after killing the Swoobat to give him like a bit more HP, just to like give us a high chance of like not getting fucked over by the previous list. And what do you know? Scrafty is the fucking GOAT! I do not know the odds, but I will tell you this, they were not in my favor. Now, Scrafty outspeeds with Thunder Punch to get Shell Ball healing, which lets him live a Skarmory Air Core. Now, it's impossible for me to lose if I just press Thunder Punch, right? Right? Why? Why are you switching out on the 1 HP Skarmory? Who you outspeed? Huh? I have no idea what went through my brain there, but I actually managed to play to one of my only loss conditions. Gerda lives an air cutter and finishes off the bird. I'm not lying or exaggerating when I say I was planning for this fight for like 2 hours, but now that it's over, Skylar hands me over my 6th badge and takes me on a ride on a private jet to Lentimus town. First thing I do in town is beat up Vegeta and told him I like his cut. I was lying. I caught me a spaghetti monster to cut this tree, said hi to Kabalion, caught him in a Master Ball for the memes, killed Virizion, caught a dog for his swimming and strength capabilities, and glubbed to Route 14 to catch my last encounter until the Elite Four, Mian Fu. He had a brave nature, which raises attack, thumbs up, but reduces speed. Quite bad, cause I want him to be more of a nuke type of fella. His ability regenerate is good, and overall this guy is pretty strong. I named him Jet Li and added him to the squad. Next up is Drayden, the dragon type gym leader, and once again I am doing some prep work. First up, I picked up Eviolite for Gerda since I can evolve him anyway, and this will turn him into a turbo tank. To be fair, I should have done this earlier. Then I gave him a few questionably legal performance enhancing drugs. Next up, I need more red shards to teach Gerda Ice Punch, which is a good coverage move and is the only super effective move against dragons that I can get, like, period. I ventured out into Chargestone Cave and began running back and forth. Grinding for red shards is what I would tell you if I was spreading misinformation on the internet. I went full hacker mod and just cheated in 99 red shards because I am sorry, I am not running back and forth for hours straight to get these shards. I cannot be fucked. If you are mad, you can stay mad plus ratio. Also, I have been using rare candies to level up Pokemon instead of grinding this entire time. I just didn't include any footage of it. I'm sneaky like that. And since I'm confessing all of my sins anyway, might as well confess that it was me in fact who stole your Blade Tigrera Bakugan, Adam. It was in year 5 primary school, you were crying your eyes out because you lost it, but no, you didn't lose it, my boy. You thought you did, but it was me who took it from you. And to be perfectly frank, I feel not a single shred of remorse. And then with my newly acquired red shard, I taught Gerda Ice Punch and used the move reminder to teach my Mianfu Fake Out, the best move in the game. With all of my prep completed, I entered the Opelucid City Gym and actually had a banger joke prepared for this bit. Because my Lucario was named Bruce Lee, I was gonna say, oh Bruce Lee, it's your time to soul the gym since we're gonna enter the dragon, or something along those lines. But this little shit, Mr. I have my own cartoon Jackie Chan, killed him off, so now I can't use this joke. None of your films are topic relevant, are they now? Huh? Lil bro? Well, the reception at this gym wasn't too nice. First trainer crits me and almost sends me to the bench from the mortal realm. The second trainer may have been a problem if not for the lucky freeze. And the third trainer with the rotation battle, oh my god. I played it well by isolating with Fake Out and got lucky with a crit. But that D-danced Axew almost took out Jet Li and that would not be optimal. Fortunately, with no casualties on our side, we take on the big man himself. Big D. Huh? His Druddigon only has physical moves and my naturally physically tanking Gerda with his Eviolite tanked Revenges for days. And by days, I mean 4 bulk ups. He gets crit on the 4th one, but I'm still like super fine. Then it's Ice Punch to the face time. Into Ice Punch to the face time. Into Ice Punch to the face time. I don't know why Haxorai in this game are obsessed with dragon dancing, but AI always presses it even when I might be in danger from some other moves. I should be safe here anyway unless a Dragon Claw crits, but it's just a consistent thing on no Haxorai, even when you're not a turbo juiced up Gerda, which is kinda stupid. I'm gonna get the AI in this game, I just don't. After reading out the 10,000 word essay about Drayden's lack of skill to him, the defeated male passes over his badge and now there's only one badge left for me to conquer. Watch a cool little cutscene and proceed to beat up hordes of plasma grunts like I'm AoE farming. Then Mianfu evolved and I accidentally overleveled Scrafty for this gym fight, so I'm in a bit of a picaroni because Jellicent is a bit of a kaiju for my team. So in response, I decided to teach Gerda Payback instead of Ice Punch just for this fight because he always goes second anyway and it will actually do damage compared to like 90% of my other moves. And now I proceed to take on Marlon, the 8th gym leader. I lead Mian Chao, Fake Out to break the sturdy, and Drain Punch. Rollercoaster went for Shell Smash, but even if it goes for a damage move instead, I will always end the fight at like almost 100 HP because I'm faster and I have Drain Punch. Also, I do not want my Drain Punch to crit because I want him to waste his potion on Rollercoaster since it's the easiest Pokemon to deal with. Next up is Whale Lord. I punch his drains and he gets amnesia. I punch him again and he goes for his only scary move, which is bounce, but unfortunately for him, I also have bounce. So I just reactively bounce his bounce and take out the country of Wales from the UK map. Next up is the Kaiju. I bounce the Jellicent and Ear Scald. Then I U-turn out of there, proccing the Citrus Berry into Gerda. Because Mienshao is low, Jelly will go for Brine instead of Scald, which makes Gerda take less damage. And now all Gerda needs to do is dodge a crit and pay him back for his sins, being a jellyfish. Nosecrafty made this needlessly difficult, but we come out on top in the end. And the boys take down the final bastion of the Pokemon League. Next up, I have a lot, and I mean a lot, of Team Plasma, so here's a TLDR. The ship went bye-bye. I went to play tag with the ship, found Ghetsis' sex dungeon, and realized his kink was death. Almost died, but thankfully Ent swoops in into the Discord call to make me his little kitten. Too bad his Zekrom got omnomnommed by the Kyurem and now I need to fight Ghetsis to save the world, I guess. Pausing the video for a sec. There's a little bit of a problem. All my Pokemon are level 55 and Ghetsis is level 52, which means that I'm a bit over leveled for this fight, but there is nothing I could do. There are simply too many trainers that I have to fight. This story part of the game took me legit like 2 hours to do on max speed up minusly mashing A. In like a normal Nuzlocke, you can set up some B-Tech boys to beat up the prelude to this and have a main team ready at level cap, but I do not have said option. I have like 6 Pokemon and that's it. So I'm doing this fight a bit over leveled and there's nothing I could really do about that. But even with that advantage, I still need to do some prep. I picked up a Dark Gem and gave it to Scrafty to one-hit Cofagrigus. Taught Gerda Facade instead of Strength and poisoned him for Facade plus Guts Turbo Damage Gaming. Then I started the fight, beat Kyurem and realized you get healed between the two fights. That strat I just mentioned is now dead. Anyway, as I said before, I lead Scrafty into Cofagrigus and Crunch Omnomnom one-shot him with Dark Gem, but no Moxie boost because of Mummy. Switch into Mienshao to tank the Frog's Drain Punch and show him how a real martial artist master drains men. I didn't mention this earlier, but Mienshao is holding a metronome, which boosts moves if they are used in succession up to 100% extra damage. So my plan here is to just press Drain Punch on everything and tank whatever comes at me. So when the Drain Punch doesn't one-hit Electros, I thought I was gonna lose Mienshao, but for some reason the AI decided to go for T-Bolt instead of Aerial Ace. Ghetsis was playing on the Zaza or something, but I will not complain. I dodge a Dragon Rush from Hydreigon and live a Poison Jam from Toxicroak to finish off the fight. I expected to be faster than I was in these fights, but my speed lowering nature really messed up my whole plan, but thanks to some good RNG, the fight went rather smoothly. My hubris really got to me this fight because I thought I will do more damage and be faster without really doing the maths properly, mainly because of my level advantage. But Ghetsis' team is quite strong and I almost suffered from it. I guess never punished, Lamau. Now that all my Team Plasma beef is resolved, I go to Victory Road. Caught Sork and Throw, named them McGregor and Diaz respectively. Sork was fine, but Throw had the worst possible nature and the worst of his 2 possible abilities. But now that all 6 of my final team members are assembled, it's time to do some Elite 4 prep. I actually do grind the Dust Clouds this time to get myself a Dark Gem amongst other gems. Then I get a Road from Magby to burn Gerda one last time and end up with this as my final team. First up we have Grimsley, the Dark type Elite 4. He should be pretty free. Mienshao just pressed Drain Punch and the Metronome allowed to kill Crocodile through Intimidate and then back to Drain Punch as I finish off the fight with 5 PP left. Next up on the list though, we have Marshall. One could say he is like the true final test of this run. As I step into the ring, I feel the power within me. I feel the pain I suffered throughout this run. I feel the friends we lost in this war. And now, I'm at the doorstep of my final test. Am I worthy? Or will I disappear into irrelevance like all those before me? Jackie Chan dodges the first rock tomb. Oh, he's dancing on him. Ooh, he's nasty like that. Huh? And the second? Oh, he really is dancing on him. Oh my god. Ooh, throw. You might have finally hit the rock tomb, but I'm afraid it's way too late. Up next in the ring, it's Marshall's Mian Shao with bounce. He thinks he's slick with that bounce of his, but little does he know, it will be his demise. We will switch to Sock on the spring up, and on the bounce down, we take the hit, live with 30, and 1 HP reversal the Mian Shao to the grave. Let's fucking go, McGregor, ya Irish legend. Subbing Jackie Chan back in for the conqueror, but the crit hammer arm almost takes him down. Almost is not enough. We switch to Diaz, who dodges the hammer arm and circle throws the bulking up conqueror back to the bench. Take a breather, little bro. Then we do the same thing to Sock. Diaz, my guy, why you do him like that? You're just tossing him about like you're Hulk in the Avengers, my guy. And then Conqueror, who does not learn from his mistakes, bulks up again, but to no avail. Then comes back out the Sock and breaks Diaz with a critical strike straight to my heart. Diaz goes down. But his sacrifice will not be in vain. Jet Li comes in with fists full of rage, controlled rage, because we all know you have to be calm like the nature and the springs to be able to win against your opponent. Jet Li finishes off the Sock, then he finishes off Conkelda after brushing off that hammer arm like it's nothing. Try a stronger move next time, my boy. And with that, I snatch Marshall's belt off his waist, look him straight in the eyes as I put it on my fallen brother Diaz. The courageous throw as we leave the Elite 4 room with physical scars, but a newfound strength to defeat the League. Next up is Caitlyn, the sidekick maestro. I finally take off the weighted clothing, the Expedia, off of Scrafty and give him the item, the metronome. I put him in the lead and walk into Caitlyn's hypersomnial abyss. I crunch, and with Shana charge beams for some reason. I was really scared of Yawn in this fight. It completely breaks my tempo, but if she's gonna charge me, I can just press crunch and win. And I pressed crunch and win. Like, I don't know. Like, I had like a whole plan set up to deal with the Yawn and like everything. Like I was like really scared. I thought I was kind of doomed. Like, what was I gonna do? But then she just presses charge beam and I guess she lost. Next fight. And now I only have one fight left. The fight I left until the end because it's very fucking very scary, to be perfectly frank with you. Her Drifblin is a menace to society at large. I don't know why he isn't locked up yet. And if I think about it now, he kind of is, because I'm locked in here, and that means they're all locked in here as well. Oh no. This Drifblim counters like everything I know and love. He counters this whole run. He's a first of all flying ghost type, a worst matchup for my fighting type boys. It also doesn't help that the rest of our Pokemon are quite strong and are immune to my fighting type moves as well. So I developed a bit of a plan. To use my level 61 Scrafty, I funneled all the XP into him with the Expedia, and I gave him a Dark Gem to kill Cofagrigus. But I decided to double check my calc, and once again I forgot to account for his minus attack nature, which means it was a range to kill, and the range was not in my favor. I think it was around 6% chance to be a one-hit KO. And with that new information, I improvised a new plan. Instead of Dark Gem, I will give Scrafty a Metronome, which I can stack as I kill Cofagrigus. And I will teach Payback to Sock, who can take a hit with Sturdy, and Dark Gem boosted Payback kill something on Chantal's team. I was ready to sacrifice Scrafty for the clean Sock switch at any moment. Mianshao also got a Flying Gem in case I would need to bounce a ghost, and I actually wanted to use a Burn Berry instead of a Metronome because Cofagrigus Burn kind of destroys me, but I didn't have one. So I'm hoping I can stack enough Metronome damage to outdo the lowering from the burn. As I walk into Chantal's boss room, the tension completely breaks because the same bug that happened at Minecraft Dreams Gym happened here. and it's completely dark. So I walk in and fight the Gothwhelmer. So, as you can see, Kofa misses Will-O-Wisp. I was really out here thinking of how I'm gonna play around the burn, and my man just said no. Next up is Golurk, who just dies to a crunch. After him is Chandelure, who just dies to a crunch, but applies Flame Body before going down, which is a bit spooky. And finally, it's the kaiju itself, Drifblim, who lives a metronome boosted crunch because of the burn and almost takes my head off with acrobatics. At this point, I'm just ready to die to the Drifblim's aftermath, but it is a worthy sacrifice. Except the mummy from earlier, which removed my Moxie, comes in clutch and removes Drifblim's aftermath. Shanto full restores, but because of the metronomes, Crafty is able to one-shot the Drifblim, but I realize that I am dead to burn. So for the third time in this fight, I'm ready to say goodbye to Scrafty, but he says I got one more in me, and for some reason, the burn damage doesn't go off because we won. I don't know if it's different in the newer games, and it's throwing me off, or I'm dumb, or what is going on, but I expected that burn to go off, but I guess, fuck it, go off king, we live in tonight. I then proceed to spend 20 minutes hitting my head on Shanto's furniture before I manage to get out of her dark ass room. Now the only thing that stands in our way is the champion. So before taking on the champ, I actually heal Gerda's burn because it's kinda bad. Guts is the Black Swordsman, but also a very strong Pokemon ability, best used on fast Pokemon that can one-shot their opponents first. Gerda is slow as piss, so he doesn't use it well, and not having a burn gives me more options like setting up or tanking hits if needed. I also give Mienshao a normal gem for an extra strong fake out at some point. As I walk up the stairs towards my final opponent, the only person standing between me and the title of Unova's greatest, I feel the power of all the friends we lost, all the new friends we made, all the villains we conquered, and all the battles we faced. This is my final stand. All or nothing. Prepare, Iris, for this battle will be your last. She leads with Hydreigon. I lead Mike Tyson. We exchange blows. Dragon Pulse for a brick break. After the second exchange, the Hydreigon falls. Next up is the Druddigon, who tanks the Moxie and Metronome boosted brick break before finishing off Tyson with a focused blast. But his sacrifice will not be in vain, as Chuck motherfucking Norris pulls up to the fight, bulks up on the heel. You're so easy to read, Iris. Like, what is this? It's almost like you're an AI who is programmed to do that. Like, come on. Chuck bulks up once again after tanking a focus blast, then shows you some new moves as he dances right around the second one as he delivers an ice punch to the head. Can his next opponent, Aggron, last even a minute in the ring? Chuck Norris wakes him up from his little fantasy and tells him the answer is no. The Archeops, a dangerous opponent, one not to be underestimated, puts a stop to Chuck's reign of terror with a swift acrobatics KO. But who's up next, you ask? Hailing from the cold winters of Ireland, Conor McGregor! He takes an acrobatics to the face, simply brushes it off with sturdy. He is just built differently. You wouldn't get it, and replies to the bird with a reversal, taking it out of the fight. Iris sends out her Focus Sash Haxorus, an absolute menace who takes down McGregor. All Iris has left is her Haxorus and the Lapras, while all I have left are Jet Li and Jackie Chan. I send out Jet Li to face off against the monster before me. Jet Li hits him with a normal gem boosted fake out, breaking his sash and leaving him completely immobilized to move. And as Haxorus used her turn to set up a Dragon Dance, Jet Li hits a Drain Punch to lower her into lethal range. This is a scary turn of events. Haxorus may have the power to kill Jet Li right now, but we decide to go for the Drain Punch, hoping to live through the attack and to finish off the Haxorus. And then she Dragon Dances again, killing all the tension and dying. As Iris sends her last Pokemon, Jet Li uses the last available Drain Punch to lower Lapras into red health, then masterfully tanks Surf before finish off the Lapras with a U-turn that cements us as the Unovan champions.